In this video, we're going to talk about entering grades in your gradebook. So if I go into grades, the first thing I want to point out is the edit mode. So if I'm in my course and in edit mode so that I can change things within this, and I go to grades, it will stay in edit mode, and you can tell that it's in edit mode because we have all these little blanks where we can directly enter grades. I would highly recommend not using this method. One is if you have a large class or a lot of grade items, it takes forever to load. Second, you can override or put in grades for categories or course totals. If you do that directly here, so if I put a grade in right here and hit save, no matter what is being written out to the side or what is in the other columns, the course total will always be what I put in there. So you can get yourself into some trouble in this mode. I always turn off editing so that I just see the columns themselves and the grades in them. Next, there are several types of columns here that I've already put in the gradebook. Most of these are activities within As You Learn. So this is an assignment activity, this is a group assignment, this is a forum, this is attendance, this is a quiz. So those activities have Gradebook aware. So if I add a grade in those activities, it will auto-populate. I can get to this assignment by clicking on this link at the top. I can get to any of these just clicking this link, or from the home page or the course page, I can click on the assignment itself or the activity itself. I can go in here and grade, and I'm going to give this student a grade, and when I hit save changes, I'm going to go back to the gradebook, and that grade is auto-populated into that assignment category. That is the best way to go in and give grades for an activity that has grades. Do it from the activity itself. However, if you really need to change this grade, I don't want to go back to the assignment. I just want to put it directly here. I can click on the single view, which will show me all the students and the grades for this activity. If I turn editing on at this point, I can do what's called an override for any grades. So let's say that I'm going to give Grumpy Cat a 75. Even though this is not through the assignment, I will hit save and go back to the grader report, and you will see Grumpy Cat. And notice I'm still in edit mode. I didn't turn edit mode off before going back to grader report, so I want to turn that off now. I don't like that view. And so notice, even though I did not grade Grumpy Cat's assignment inside the activity, they still have a grade. This orange box is called an override. So anytime you see that, that means the grade has been entered directly into the gradebook and overrides any activity, grades, nothing's being passed forward. If you do it in a category total or the course total, that grade will override no matter what the calculation is, and you'll know that that's happening by that orange box. Additionally to activity grades, I have a grade item. This is simply a column in my database. Think of like an Excel column where I can enter in grades. So I'm going to click that single view again, and so here's all the grades that are in that column currently. I can turn editing on, and I can start putting in grades. I can hit save changes, and now when I go back to grader report and turn editing mode off, here are those grades in. Additionally, and this is true for activities and grader items, if I go into edit mode here, I have an actions little pull down menu here. This is how we did overrides before, and I'm going to pull that down. We can do bulk grade inserts. So it's going to tell me, hey, make sure you want to change that. Yes, I do. And I can say either for all grades or just empty grades, I can insert a value. So I can say for anybody that has no grades currently, give them a 90. This is a good way to go through and bulk give grades for something that's really just a, hey, if they did it, they get this grade. I can hit save now, and you can see all of these students now have a 90. I'm going to turn edit mode off and go back to grader report, and now I had given some individual grades, but everybody else got a 90. So that's a way to set all the grades within a grade item or within an activity if you want to override all of those to one grade. So that is going through and grading based on a column, based on a grade item or activity, which is the columns going back. But we can also do the same thing for a student, an individual student. So if I click this first single view for a student and click editing on, I can now go through and override individual grades for any given point or any given item within the gradebook and save those. So I have those same actions. I can bulk insert, so I can give everywhere they don't have a grade, I can give them a 0. So if I go here to bulk insert, and for empty grades, give a 0. This is a good way at the end of the semester to clear all those quizzes and things like that that they haven't put anything in. I'm going to turn edit mode off and go back to my grader report. And so you'll see now for that student, I have a bunch of overrides. That 79 that I added and the 0s for grades for things they had not completed. So that's the two main ways of adding grades here. The single view for the assignment or the single view for the student. We can also get that from single view here, and it will let me pick either users or grade items. And then if I select for this particular one for user, I can then turn edit mode on and change those grades either by entering them individually or using the activities menu and actions menu and doing bulk insert. So that gives me a couple of different ways to change grades inside the gradebook.